or whatever it is.
Well. If it isn't time for another uncensored radio. Hey, folks.
I don't even know what to say to that. That was just very theatrical.
It was Beverly Leslie from Will and Grace.
It was uncomfortable.
It was fabulously gay.
We're going to start the show off in the right way. Mr. Jeffrey Emmett, how are you today, sir?
I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm struggling a little bit because I realize...
I don't know why I'm laughing.
Because...
It's not like you just to downplay things. What's going on with you?
Yeah, something's not right.
So I was cleaning the bathtub, right? And this bathtub has like a weird faucet where in the part where the water comes out, you have to pull down to get the shower to turn on, right? So not the knob.
Oh, yeah, I know those.
So it's right. It just is not a typical one. So for a minute, I'm staring at it, and I turned the water off, thinking I was turning the shower on, and I was just staring at it, and I couldn't remember how to work it. And this lasted for like 20 seconds before it clicked in of what to do. But I was
if you get the Alzheimer's test?
Well, it ran through all of my mother's, her father, all the great aunts. Like they all were like, cuckoo. They lost it. One just died in a nursing home.
I'm wondering if maybe you should get an Alzheimer's test there, Jeffrey.
But
well, it is genetic, Jeff. So, this shows like evidence enough that you're going down that path.
Yeah, well, it's true.
But you know what Jeff will always remember? That you can grab your very own uncensored radio merchandise. Where can we get that, Jeffrey?
I am like, where is he go? This little thing?
Oh, this little thing.
Where can we get that, Jeffrey?
I don't know. You go over to...
I think we can get it at...
our website.
Oh, there we go.
Down there.
www.etsy.com/shop/just Jeff Emmett.
I feel like I should be out of the stream right now so I can go and get my uncensored radio mug.
Honey, I was thinking maybe you could go fix that weave you got going on first.
What's going on with my hair?
I don't know. It's like not done. I don't know that I've really seen that.
Bitch, you got your fibers in? Have you got your fibers in?
Yes, I do. And they're actually horrible. If you can see real close, it's not a cute look today. Because I did it earlier.
How are you, Katie? You got your fibers in?
Take me out of the stream. Wait, I'm going to take myself out.
How do you top that one? Well, we got buried in the snow up here in central New York.
You warmed up on the nugget couch?
I warmed up on the nugget couch with my hot chocolate bombs. Hell yeah. So I spent my snow days doing about 20 loads of laundry. I don't recommend waiting that long to do your laundry. Don't recommend it.
I spent my snow day working.
Well, I was working too, but I'm working remote part-time. So some of my time is spent home now and some of it is in the office. These snow days, I was just home.
Why did they give remote kids 2 snow days? Okay, if we can switch the whole school over to remote learning on a day's notice, why in God's name did we have 2 snow days?
We had one actual snow day and then one remote learning day, and they still had after-school activities, so I guess it's counted as a school day. I don't know. Grayson was stoked. He was ready. He was out in that snow. You go shovel that driveway, boy. Be gone.
Well, when Gabe heard that it was a snow day, he got really excited. He was like, Daddy, can I go play in the snow? And I'm like, look outside. If you can find some, you can play in it. You're welcome.
Come see Aunt Katie with her 3 feet of snow.
Just avoid the yellow snow.
Listen, it was twice this week. They're just as bad as I am because Aiden was talking to his mom on the video chat thing. And she has twins. And she was saying, this one, whatever, which one it was, I don't know, is one or whatever. Well, Aiden said, how old's the other one?
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Really, though?
I love it.
Gonna be 9. How old's the other one? I hope you see this when you're in high school. You're like, I can't believe he was talking about me. Now I gotta go to the therapist. 9. 9.
I think
Shame
Kyle.
on you, shame
Jeffrey,
on
I'm
me.
pretty sure your kids are going to go to therapy for other reasons.
Oh, me too.
Oh.
No,
Hey.
they are already
All the good,
in
all the
therapy
good
for those
celebrity
reasons.
kids end up in therapy. Hasn't anyone seen Mummy Dearest?
Yeah, that went well.
Right.
Come on, you gotta love it.
Whoa, why hang
Christina, bring me the axe. Anyway,
Yeah. Mhm.
speaking of Mummy Dearest, how are you, Luke?
I'm good. I'm actually not too bad. I've recovered from I was actually no, I can't talk about it on air. I was lifting something that was like potentially harmful to my lungs, and it's done. That's all I will say.
Is that what you call a bear? Is that
No.
what you're-
Something
Luke
that
doesn't
was
do bears.
could have been
No.
hazardous for your lungs, but you've cleared it.
Yes.
So you
But
swallowed a
it's-
bunch of cum.
Were you huffing
No.
poop?
Someone's beeping
No.
outside of my house.
So-
but I don't-
Rona smacked you, and you can't say it because they forced you to work while you had Rona, allegedly.
What are you all talking about? I'm not even engaging anymore.
Anyways.
I feel like
Well, you
I feel like
I
this
have not
conversation
said
should move on.
anything.
Look, my life's been fine.
Why do you look like Vampira? You're a little pale today. Have you been?
I've
avoiding
got the Thin Lizzy on. Thin Lizzy. You don't even know what Thin Lizzy is over there, do you?
Estee Lauder.
It's makeup. It's like like I've contoured today. Do I look terrible?
Thin Lizzy was a 70s rock band.
Just a
over
little
here.
white for it being summer.
Vera knows. Vera knows.
You don't look like Demi Moore, so that's a plus. Speaking of Corona, how's
It was just
how's
makeup.
how's Vera feeling now?
It was quick, but it was intense. It was started in 12 hours and ended in 12 hours, but it was intense. I'm all better.
Yay!
I am 3 days away from 94% immunity to the COVID virus.
Woo!
Yeah. I'm going to start hugging people and eating in restaurants.
Well, we need to talk about that too, Vera, because
I didn't know where that was going.
You're our first uncensored radio, colleague that's actually inoculated to the coronavirus, and you did have you had some side effects from the second injection. Like, I think we need to talk about that just frankly, because you weren't well that night, but how long did that last? Like, people
Just
need to
about
know.
12 hours, really. It started, I got the injection at 5:30. And after, at like, when I woke up at like 5 a.m, I had this blinding headache that just, I took some ibuprofen and it didn't go away. 4 hours later, I took an oxycodone and it didn't go away. But then I woke up probably in the afternoon and I was tired, but I really wasn't sick. I didn't get chills or fever or anything. The headache was lighter, much lighter. But by the time I went back to bed at 12 o'clock that night, the headache was gone. So
I'm gonna hit you up when I need some oxycodone.
Do you have any like big plans?
I say, bitch, why have you got oxycodone?
Are you gonna get
Like
some dick down like this weekend once you're clear? What's the big plan, right?
Well, I gotta wait till other people get clear.
Well, like
Then
it's
she'll
just
get
gonna be
dick
like,
down.
I got vaccinated. Who's got dick?
I got it on my badge. It says no COVID.
Yay!
We fly.
Luke, I was gonna ask you, aren't you getting vaccinated? And then I realized, oh, you're in a country that took it seriously and it's
Yeah,
under control.
So you don't need a
No,
vaccine.
I will be vaccinated first out of the Australians because it will be mandated because I can't work unless I have it. But it's really slow here. Like, they keep talking about it rolling out, but it hasn't rolled out. So I don't know why the hold up is. I'm not
We're
against
probably
the hold up.
outbidding you guys.
Yeah, I think we're down on the list because it's been handled so well. But we keep having these little outbreaks and da 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 da. It's like, wouldn't it just be better to
It's always
Get on
security guards sleeping with the people in quarantine. Like,
I don't
what is
know
it
that
with
it's
security guards in COVID? Like, they're just like
Arona's just too tempting.
straight away. Yeah, the Rona is like an aphrodisiac, I think.
Arona's a sexy bitch, apparently.
Because that's where it always breaks out from. It's like, oh, security guard went home to their family, like married security guard, and spread it to them.
It doesn't
After
necessarily
Why a
mean that.
security
Hey,
guard,
it doesn't
though?
necessarily mean they were sleeping with them.
No, it
Oh,
doesn't.
Oh,
It does.
I don't. Yeah,
I'm
I don't
over
know where
this.
you made that.
I'm
I don't
with
know
Luke.
where you made that jump, but
I'm
okay.
with Luke. I'm with Luke.
a
Okay.
security
they're
guard.
banging.
Yep.
Steve.
Yep.
There's dirty, filthy
The
people
last
out
thing
there
we
that
wanna-
think that it's okay to have sex while they are in quarantine.
I thought maybe
And there's
Luke might have-
dirty, filthy security guards that think that it's okay to sleep with people that are in quarantine. Like,
I'm gonna
have
be
I
thought
said
Luke-
dirty, filthy enough? Dirty,
I thought Luke's
filthy.
mood might have improved in the last 24 hours, but obviously not. So
No.
anyway, let's jump into this week's
Hot load of hot topics.
I
I love it. It's my favorite
So good.
thing.
Hey Vera,
I-
we had Katrina read it last week as well. She did her own hot load of hot topics.
What did she
You
think?
won.
What did she think?
No,
of the-
Vera won. Vera's got the sexy voice.
No, I mean, what did she
Katrina
think of
was
the
good.
image? She liked it.
Oh, Katrina lost her shit. She was like, not me! Ah!
Well, no, she didn't realize
Katie?
it was her. In the
Yeah.
Katie, if you watch the show, you'd know.
I was sleeping.
Oh.
Sorry.
Hey, it's on YouTube.
I'll watch it tomorrow then.
Wow, we'll have 2 views.
Scorched earth.
Boom.
No, actually, well, it's going off on Facebook, so whatever. So anyway, I want to bring this up first because we did mention it last week, and this is how quickly things can change. Over this week, Dustin Diamond died at 44.
Bitch, he went from, like, he's got weeks to live. 25 minutes later, the report came, dead. I was like, what the fuck just happened to Dustin Diamond? It literally was
Like-
less than an hour.
I mean,
That's how quickly stage 4 cancer,
Well,
stage
Jeff,
4 cancer works.
I'll tell you what happened. He fucking died.
Yeah.
Well, end of life care is designed to suppress respiration. If he was in pain and they gave him pain meds, it's going to suppress
no.
respirations.
Bad.
He did die of lung cancer. So I guess having lung cancer in a pandemic is probably not the greatest thing either.
All right, I'll say it. I don't care.
Yeah, I really don't either, but it
What,
makes
you don't care
sense to
that he
me.
passed away?
I don't care about.
I don't
Dustin
care.
Diamond,
I mean,
Oh, come
Dustin
on.
Diamond was never, ever in my zeitgeist. I never had any real feelings for the show or anything at all. I didn't watch it. I was a little old for Saved by the Bell.
No, and I'm the same too. I actually never watched Saved by the Bell, never once. I used to see it when it would come on, but I would never watch it. But I think, to be age 44 and pass away, I think maybe we need to acknowledge that and just have a little bit of.
He was scum.
The reason that I wanted to bring it up.
Why was he
you guys-
scum? Actually, no. Okay, he's scum. She's
Yeah.
saying she's scum. Why is he scum?
Okay,
Oh.
that's fair enough. But the reason I wanted to bring it up, and you guys all know this, that literally nearly a
You
year
were
ago,
on
like-
Saved by the Bell.
No, I'm being 100% serious. My father was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer February last year and passed away in October of that year. So that's how quickly cancer can.
Yes,
then
it can go
care-
fast.
yes, and I
Care
know
about that, man.
But it
So
Care about your
what the
father.
reason I want to bring it up is that I think everyone is so obsessed with Corona and oh my god, Corona's the baddest thing. Blah, 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 blah. You've still got to make sure that you are looking after yourself so you can be around to look after the people that you love.
Oh,
It
no.
doesn't matter
no,
that
I'm
you're in the middle of a global pandemic. If something's not right with you, go to a
totally
damn
right. I'm
doctor.
totally with you. There
That's
are
all.
people who have postponed colonoscopies, who shouldn't. There are people who are not going to go to their primary care because they're afraid to expose themselves to something, and they shouldn't. There's a whole lot of tertiary illness that's going to come out of this coronavirus because people are afraid to get help. You know, I completely agree with you there. That's part of the crime of this pandemic. But
that's the only reason I wanted to bring it up. But you guys go.
Hacked by Jeffrey, bitches.
I didn't do that.
Again.
It was me. Yeah, no, look.
I've
Who's
stopped
gonna
everyone
talk?
now, haven't I? Everyone's like, where do we go from here?
Where do
No,
we go?
I working in the health industry, I've definitely seen that too. Where, and look, I'm in an area where there's no coronavirus. There's really never really been any coronavirus apart from a few media scares. And not to say it doesn't exist, but I'm finding though that because of all the stuff that's put in place, like even the hospital hours and everything's very controlled now. Like, you know, you can only visit between certain hours and blah, 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 blah. I kind of find like Corona has taken over everything, you know, because there's everybody who's dying in my hospital is not from Corona, but Corona completely controls, you know, when you can visit, when you can do this, when you can do that. And I completely appreciate the reasons why those precautions are in place, but I also see it from a viewpoint where it's like, well, it's not here right now, so why are we going above and beyond about this? But it's a government thing, you know. The government has to show that they've got they've got measures in place. So,
well, it gets out of control really quickly.
Very quickly.
I mean, here in this county, and Katie will back me up, we did not have a lot of Corona. And then Governor Cuomo said, no Thanksgiving. We encourage everybody to cancel Thanksgiving. And our dumbass fucking sheriff went on the record and said, we're
not going to enforce it.
We're not enforcing any of Governor Cuomo's rules. Go ahead and have your Thanksgiving. And 4 weeks later, it's out of control. He
literally said he is not going to enforce it. He goes, well, there's no way to do it. Here's a way to do it. Back up the governor and say, you know, stay home.
Do what we did here.
Keep your fucking mouth shut and don't give everybody permission like you're some fucking authority so that people go out of their house and have these big, huge dinners. And then we've got coronavirus everywhere in this county.
This is Sheriff also.
Since November, we've had 4,000 cases in a county with 70,000 people.
He said it's hard to enforce it, so we're not going to enforce it, but we encourage you to follow the orders. Yeah. Because people are really good at
That's the guy that doesn't think pot should be legal.
Right.
The easiest way, honestly, the easiest way to fix it is to do what they did in Melbourne and just go, here's a $250 fine, here's a $250 fine, here's a $250
would have
fine.
loved
People
to
aren't
have done that.
People
That's
aren't
why
going to be doing it
it
if they've got to pay something.
Do you know what the fine is here in Cuba County?
Oh, there is a
Really
fine?
imagine.
What is it?
$50.
I thought that was for
Wegmans, you know how many times Wegmans has paid the $50 fine for not enforcing the mask order?
Oh, the store in Port Byron, which I won't mention any names, and
Yep.
James.
Yeah.
Are you slandering Jeff's favorite store, Vera?
I'm not
Wegmans.
slandering anybody. I'm just saying what it is.
They get written up if customers come in without masks.
Yes.
So Wegmans is taking the fall because what are they supposed to do? Have guards at the door?
They do have guards at the door.
This is the only problem. This is the problem with coronavirus. It relies on people looking out for other people's well-being, and that's not the world we live in anymore.
The problem with the coronavirus
People are selfish.
is that someone
it's like the stand, man. It's like almost people need to take
politicized
themselves out.
the use of masks. It's like politicizing the use of toilet paper. Masks during a pandemic should be hygienic. It's not that.
Exactly, and people should wipe their ass, shouldn't they?
They should wipe their ass and they should wear a mask. It should not be political.
I've got a perfect segue. Speaking of ass wipes and viruses.
We're talking about Dustin Diamond again?
No, we're talking about Donald Trump Jr.
What do you do now?
Well,
I just don't like him. Sorry.
look, it looks like he's,
Poor Screech.
it looks like
We're going back to that later, Katie.
Donald
No, we're
Trump
not.
Jr. is just taking over the family craziness.
Yes.
He's talking about Liz Cheney and her favourites in
Oh,
WY
damn.
are slightly worse than her father's shooting skills.
I just connected the dots.
Yes, but
Li-
she won the election today. She continues to be the ruling Republican in the Congress. So maybe Don Jr. needs to take a lesson and say, "Oh, my lying fucking piece of shit dad ain't all that."
Oh, what's her face? Marjorie Green or whatever. She was stripped of her responsibility.
Yes. And
Actually, Vera, I wanted to ask you now that Trump's out of office, are you
Where are
Are
you
you
focusing
now,
your
like-
rage?
No, I'm asking her, like, because Vera's always said she's a registered Republican. So are you now back on the Republican track, or what's going on?
Well,
Ooh.
the reasons that I became a Republican and in my teens, back when you people were all in diapers, in my teens, I became a Republican because it was a party
Some of
that
us weren't alive.
some of you weren't, a party that stood for fiscal responsibility. It was,
Some
there
of them were
was,
sluts.
there was a
Like your
progressive
mother.
wing of the Republican Party that did believe that human rights are rights for everyone, that didn't feel like it was the job of the government to legislate things that happened in the bedroom. They were for a woman's choice. They just wanted to believe in fiscal responsibility. And then Ronald Reagan got into office. He was the first president I voted for, and he completely changed things. It became a very big money party. It had co-opted the racist Southern strategy that Nixon had put in, and had taken over the party. And then Ronald Reagan, in order to maintain his power, solidified with a Christian evangelical right. And now this party is not even recognizable as the party that I grew up in. You know, this is a party of racists. It's a party of extremists. It's a party of evangelicals who don't believe in science. And Trump, really, as heinous as he was just the symptom of a bigger cancer.
I've said that all along. I've always said Trump was America was always going to Trump. Like, it was going to happen. And
What
oh,
the hell is that?
okay, who can read that? I can read it.
All right,
from
I'm here.
Oh, please
The
read it.
Secretary of Defense was elected by Biden. We, the people, must protest. Let the Saudis know that we, the people, want if they do to the strong, tough President Trump, they can do to everybody, but not to our enemies. Because China communists made Biden signed 42 executive orders in only 9 days, like a dictator, without no mercy to those Democrats and Republicans in Congress that people voted for. And anyway, they rig our election. Trump must be our president now.
Dude, your tinfoil hat is showing.
That was
Take off the tinfoil hat and
I
read
need to make a public
spell.
We need to make a public apology that your education system failed you.
That's Betsy DeVos's public education.
Look,
by the way.
This all goes back to Ronald Reagan. This is what I was talking about earlier. The Republican Party across this country has systematically defunded education for the last 40 years.
Yep.
And
there's proof of it.
Ignorant electorate. And that gentleman, Mr. Pinello, proves it amazingly. Look at this stuff.
Hello,
We've lost Jeffrey.
What? Jeffrey, why is this funny? This is your country.
Well, you know what's
Do you know
funny?
why this is funny?
Let me tell you why this is funny. Because
Okay,
every instance of like voter fraud, has been on the Republic side. That's the best part of this whole thing is every time you hear a voter fraud story, it's someone who voted for Trump. It's so good. It's so delicious.
And
the irony is
none
awesome.
of them, even if they were all for Biden, even if they were totaled up for Biden, none of them would change the outcome. It amounts to about 7,000 possible anomalies, possibly irregularities. 7,000 cannot erase 7 million.
Well,
actually, girls, I wanted to ask you, and also Jeff. Now that Biden's won, has the atmosphere settled there? Because I think the last 4 years, everything's been very polarized in the US.
I'm just getting ramped up to bully him. That's what I'm doing. I'm getting ready to bully Biden.
It's pretty polarized, and it's still pretty scary.
It's still
the events of January 6th were horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jeff, I holidayed there during Trump's reign, and I posted a photo where there was I posted a photo on a gay dads group, and in the background there was a Confederate, the Confederate flag. I don't know anything about it because, I'm just completely ignorant. And all these people straight away were fucking attacking me, oh, you're this and you're that and you're this and blah. And I'm like, we were on holiday.
It might have meant something way back when, but now it's just about the good old boys and their racist views.
Exactly. But that's the thing. Everything changes though, doesn't it? People
slavery.
No. So let's talk about the good
history, Vera. It's
let's
about
talk
history,
about the good old
those
boys.
people in central New York are Southern.
You know what? The Germans don't let anybody put up a statue to Hitler. Why? Because he was the fucking loser. You can't erect statues to the fucking losers.
Poor Steve. We're just. It seems like
Right, I'm letting you go because it's all leading into the subject of these next fucking losers. Proud Boys have been designated a terrorist group in Canada. And if you want some entertainment, guys, go to our Facebook page and jump into the comments section of this article.
Do we have some good old boys?
We have so many people. We're getting a lot of likes. I highly do doubt that they watch the show because they have no idea of what page they're on.
Hi, boys.
But
Hi, Proud
these
Boys.
these fucking ignorant, closed-minded, small-dicked, inbred fucking idiots that can't
she's like, yeah.
Let's let her go.
Everything about
Hold on. Play Vera rant. Let her go. Let her go.
I'm going at the moment.
This is Stevie rants.
You can't do a simple Google search to back up the argument that somebody told you somewhere online.
Oh, they won't do that, but then when you give them a link, they won't read it.
Because they can't, Jeffrey. Did you read the last comment?
I remember
they can't. They won't read it because they are so completely brainwashed that they feel anything that isn't this fucking weird, bizarro shit like aliens coming down and setting up cabals and Anderson Cooper drinking baby blood. That's the truth.
Listen,
these days?
if I could look young, I would definitely take the stem cells of aborted babies. I don't care.
Oh my God.
The mother in me is just reeling. I'm sorry.
I will take them.
And that's the end of the show.
Isn't their logo?
The point that I really want to make, though, is Proud Boys? Proud Boys? Are you motherfucking kidding me? Proud Boys? Does that not sound like the biggest, gayest fucking parade in the world? Proud Boys? Don't you expect that?
It's only
It starts here. The gays are
It's probably somewhere I would hang out, you know?
Proud Boys. How fucking stupid are they to take your fucking name?
What it is every closeted frat bro that used to get gobbies from their frat brothers and fuck each other in the ass, but don't tell anyone because it's not gay if it doesn't happen. Their logo's a giant cock. Literally.
What?
How gay can it be?
What?
Listen, I'm calling all the gays out there.
Do we have an
I'm
image
sending
of
a
the
message.
No, I'm
I
just
need you to
Bruce.
take it
I'm
back.
Bruce says
Take
cops.
it.
It's all right. I'm just making a joke. It's comedy.
It's comedy,
Comedy
people.
Where is it?
I got excited.
Wait, do you want me to do Ace Comedy People?
Yeah, I need it, Scott Jeff. You're back in the studio, Luke. I need some help now.
Yeah, wait.
ranting.
I've got to look over to my side. Shit.
Oh god, it's not edited.
There it is.
It's comedy, people.
Whoop, there it is.
But anyway, I had to bring it up. If you want some entertainment, my favorite is one of our not viewers, because I have never, I don't think a viewer has had a rant, and someone's just put a little meme of Marsha Brady that says "Sure, clan," and she's like, I laughed my ass off for a good 10 minutes about it. But that's
I have been off the page for about a week because a week ago I got my hand slapped. Some woman called me a bitch, so I returned the favor. I got censured, and she did not.
Yeah,
and I tried to challenge it, and Facebook said, "Nope, we reviewed it. Your remark is inappropriate." But her remark is still there.
That's a little bit of with Facebook is
Sarah.
having some interesting things at the moment, but we're not going to bring it up because we want to keep posting live at the moment. So we talked about Governor Cuomo before. Let's see what he's got to say.
Oof.
What?
So
this man is
9
not
top
getting
New York health
reelected.
officials have quit as Cuomo scorns as their expertise. So he's basically doing what Trump did, right? And going, you got nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's really what he was saying. I think he was saying that there
by all those dead old people.
Oh, yeah, that's bad.
I think yes, the whole dead old people thing.
But we're going to save a lot of money.
Nobody's making money, kiddo. That's just bullshit. Nobody's making money. They can't even. They don't have enough. They don't have enough space to bury them. They're all in a freezer truck. Okay? As horrific as that is, they are overrun. These dead bodies are just getting dropped on Rikers Island. Nobody is making money. This old guy from North Country up by Pulaski, 30-year mortician, took a whole bunch of students from mortuary school, and they went down to help out the morticians in New York City because they were so completely overrun. There is no money being made. Nobody's getting rich off the COVID vaccine. Maybe there was some poor decisions being made, but it's not monetary.
All I know is Dolly saved the world. That's all I know.
Dolly did, but now she's not going to get the vaccine until more of us are vaccinated because she's afraid.
No.
I don't blame her.
All right, so
I'm fine.
I don't have a screen grab for this, but it was in the title of last week's show. So what the fuck's going on with GameStop and the stock market this week?
I don't understand any of it.
I am too pretty to understand this, so I'm just gonna let it go. Jeff wanted to talk about it, so go.
I didn't really stand it. I just started buying stock.
Every freaking hedge funder in this country has been short selling for years. Donald Trump and his band of grifters have been short selling for fucking years. This is not anything new. The problem with GameStop is that this hedge fund was getting ready to bankrupt it, and all these geeks on Reddit decided, oh, no, we don't want them to bankrupt GameStop. They started going into the market and short selling, and they bankrupt the hedge fund. And everybody's upset. The billionaires lost $13.1 billion. But hey, they've been stealing our pensions and our tax money for decades.
Well,
but
it's still going on.
Vera, those billionaires have 3 boats they need to pay for. How dare you?
Wow. Wow.
The thing
cry me a river.
I found the craziest of this whole thing is, so I've been on that Reddit page that started this whole thing.
Yeah.
Every day, multiple times a day. Nowhere are they talking about what the media is saying they are. They're saying they're bored with it. They're talking about investing in silver. And that's not what's happening at all. So the media is actually like, I'm watching them live. Like, they're reporting false shit. All you have to do is go on the page and look. That's not what they're talking about. Yet the media is like, oh, nope, it's over. There's no problem. No, dude, all these people are investing, make crazy money still in GameStop and AMC.
Media continues to peddle lies all the time. Donald Trump said the media was corrupt. He was not wrong. Okay? The media
He was just also not right.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time. Say that one
He
more
was
time.
not wrong. The
Ooh,
media
But this
how's
is
that
the
taste?
thing. Donald
How's that
Trump
taste in your
resonated
mouth?
with a lot of people because he called out a lot of bullshit. Like,
But
He also
you know, the
sprouted a
media
lot of
has their
bullshit.
own. They have their own agenda as well. Like, we had that here. We had some.
Well, yeah, they have
We
their
had some
bottom line.
loser on here, like on the radio, on the news the other day, who was talking about, the hydrochloroquine or whatever, like the Trump,
Good drag
the
name.
Trump, like the treatment that they
Yeah.
recommended for corona, and it sort of became this big thing where the journalists, they had him on a morning show here where she obviously had her lines already written out, so it didn't matter what he said, that she was just being a proper prick, where she was just like, oh, you need to be quiet, you need to do this, you need to do that, and blah 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 blah. And I actually commented on the article. I was like, as a journalist, don't bring on somebody if you don't want to hear what they've got to say. Like, we can all disagree with what he's got to say, because I actually personally think he was just full of shit. But the way she handled that interview was completely disgusting, and it was just there to make herself try and look good. Like, she was just a sanctimonious, overpaid journalist that was just being a fucking bitch and trying to make herself look good by smearing someone who was obviously a fucking idiot anyway. But why bring them on? Like, I was just thinking, like, what are you doing, you stupid bitch? Like, you knew your guest, you knew what he was going to say, and then you bring him on so you can make yourself look like you were fucking so wonderful. Like, I don't like people like that. I think that she is actually worse than him.
They bring him on because they want him to pop off. It's what
Hey,
it is.
Kathy.
well, they also want the ratings.
Yeah.
Used to be a universally accepted standard in this country that the nightly news was a loss leader. They didn't even have advertising in the nightly news until the 70s. It was just 30 minutes of news, Walter Cronkite, and that's the way it is.
And that's exactly how it should be. There should
And-
not be other fucking agendas. And this is the thing. We've got all these overpaid journalists right now that are serving other agendas. They're giving their opinions during stories. And I'm like, no. Like, we had that.
It's all part of
Remember when we had that
doctrine.
fucker on, the anti-vaxxer, whatever, the Victor, whatever his name was? We let him speak. People can make their own conclusions about what he's talking about is good or bad. We didn't need to criticize him.
Well, we
or
did the
do
next
this or that.
episode.
Well, I said he
Right,
was a
but
cunt,
But
and he is.
He was
But-
rude, but he was condescending, is what he was. But
He's an anti-gay, horrible cunt. But I let him speak because that's what you do when you bring on a guest and you
As I
fucking
said-
want to hear their opinion. I didn't bring on a guest so I can big note myself and go, oh, you're so bad and you're this and you're that and look how wonderful I am. This is what's happening in the media now.
As I've said to as I said recently to someone, especially even with our show, I think that we need to we present our opinions, but you can't let your emotional bias.
Well, we're a
influence,
different show
especially
too.
our
This is a
opinion.
talk show.
Have
It
you met
is.
Katie?
This is what people want to hear.
It is, but we can't. I think that we always present both sides of the argument and let your viewer or your reader decide. That's the way you should do it. That's good journalism. So I think, yeah.
Well, exactly
But
though.
it
If
gets-
you're a good journalist and you bring on a guest, you don't talk over them. You don't carry on in a sanctimonious tirade to make yourself look good because you know that they're a fuckwit. Like, you just let them talk. The audience can draw their own conclusions.
When it
you know?
gets
They're
down
not that
to-
stupid. They don't need you to look good, and they don't need you with your fucking 10 kilos of makeup on and with your straightened hair to make out that you're fucking so wonderful because you brought on some fat loser that you want to make fun of. Like, I'm just over it. It's just so fake. It's just so pathetic. And you know, why put someone in the crosshairs that you know is going to be shot down anyway, and then fucking try and make yourself look good? Like, good on you, bitch. Hey, you've got a Harbourside fucking mansion in Sydney.
This
Good
is,
for you.
This is this is also the conversation I had. Is you don't need to appeal to the most common, like the lowest common denominator, that people just want to see people get crucified. But anyway, let's talk about someone who deserves to get crucified, and in the worst kept secret of the decade.
Wait,
Marilyn Manson is a complete
so
creep.
ready for this topic. I am ready for
Read it out, Katie, because I can't read it. It's too little.
I will read it for you, my love. Okay. It says, the name of my abuser is Brian Warner, also known to the world as Marilyn Manson. He started grooming me when I was a teenager and horrifically abused me for years. I was brainwashed and manipulated into submission. I am done living in fear of retaliation, slander, or blackmail. I'm here to expose this dangerous man and call out the many industries that have enabled him before he ruins any more lives. I stand with the many victims who will no longer be silent.
You know what? This is nothing new. Because I read Jenna Jameson's autobiography where she actually fucking said Marilyn Manson sexually abused her.
Yeah, but they
like
don't
she
care
said
about
it.
her because she's a porn star. They don't care.
Exactly. That's what she said too.
slut-shamed
No
her.
one cared because she was a porn star. So all she was seen as in the media was someone who takes dicks. And no one cared. And she actually said in her autobiography that she was abused by him and also Tommy Lee Jones. She actually, it's all there in her autobiography. Like she says it very clearly.
Let's get that right. Tommy Lee Jones or Tommy Lee?
Or Tommy Lee Jones, because these are two different
Wait, no, not the old one.
Yeah, Tommy Lee.
The one
that was in Motley Crue.
That's Tommy Lee.
Tommy Lee.
Tommy Lee. Okay.
Big dick.
Tommy Lee Jones is not an abuser. Let's just put that out.
Sorry, Tommy Lee Jones.
He was after
Not that anyone's watching.
Go watch Men in Black. It's fine.
My phone's ringing. It's my lawyer.
But Jenna said,
hi, Dom.
This was like, I read her autobiography back in 2005, so it was even written before then, that Marilyn was an abuser and Tommy Lee was also a rapist. They're both rapists.
Katie.
And why is it now suddenly a big thing?
Allegedly,
yeah, exactly. Let's put up the allegedly.
Katie wants to talk.
We're coming to that.
Katie, go for it. What do you think about Jenna Jameson?
I support sex work. I have made my stance clear a million times.
Would you do it?
Would I personally?
Yeah.
No, I don't have the balls to do it.
What?
Like
anyway,
I don't want to show.
Don't segue away from the topic and try and be cute, Katie.
It is a modesty
Say what you were going to
thing.
say.
I support sex work. I think it's legitimate work, and I feel like these women don't get taken seriously. They get slut shamed. They get slut shamed into submission. This is what happens to most rape victims. They're slut shamed. Well, what were you wearing? What were you drinking? Why were you there alone? You asked for this. This is exactly what happens nowadays. This is why the Me Too movement is so necessary, because people victims aren't taken seriously anymore. And this is why they go unreported for so long, because they're scared. They're scared they're going to be ashamed. They're scared they're not going to be believed. There's someone more powerful than them that abused them.
Well, I think when you're in that position too, where you're actually abused by someone who has a lot of wealth, what can you do?
Exactly. You're afraid of retaliation. What are they going to do to you?
And a lot of these people are groomed, so they think that they want this. They're groomed. There's a psychological.
Look at those.
Well, Jenna said in her book, like she was more or less in that lifestyle where she actually felt at the time that that's what she invited into her life, was like, because she was mixing with these celebrities and she thought she was living this wonderful lifestyle, and then they were doing these terrible things to her. Like she just sort of felt like, well, that's what I fell into, and that's what's happened. You know, her autobiography is a really good read. I think people should read it because
Anyway, we're not getting
it's-
paid by Jenna Jameson. So
We're not.
let's move on.
Being a sex
just
worker
really
does not
quickly-
invite people to touch you, to do things to you that you do not consent to, just because you are in that industry, just
Yep,
because
we've
you do
talked about
sex
it.
work.
Go back and watch the
Just
sex work
really
show, Vera.
quickly, let's look at what happened to AOC this week. She was discussing what happened at the day of the siege, and she was likening the fear to a sexual assault that happened to her years ago. And how many people, women and men, have come out? It's like, oh, she's lying. Who believes her? You know, she's just looking for attention. What's wrong with her? Women need to be believed. You know, that's part of this. You can't slut shame anybody. If they say this happened, you know how much guilt and shame there is attached to this kind of assault? You don't just say it. I mean, maybe one girl in 1,000 said it erroneously, but most of the women keep this deep inside. They don't discuss it. There's so much shame and guilt, and what did I do to bring it on? It's traumatic.
There are
No.
male victims too, and you believe all victims. That's how I
Is
feel
Steve
about it.
talking?
Steve, I cannot hear you, love.
We can't hear you, darling. You've
Wait
just
for me.
been broke.
I muted I was letting everyone else go. So this is going to lead into our main topic in a section that I like to call for
I
the
thought
third
that was
week in a
fair.
row without anyone saying anything.
You're way too
Three-
proud of that.
3 weeks so far. Because like, Barbara Walters upset me. So
Barbara.
She don't know what her name is right now. She
I
don't.
don't
Okay.
know her.
So, what I want to talk about this week is allegations. Are they more damaging than actual guilt? Because
Yes.
we're playing in
Yes.
this field now. Katie made a very good point. Here in Australia, there's actually I would say pretty famous Luke, wouldn't you say? TV host Andrew O'Keefe, who has just out of nowhere been dropped by his network.
Yeah,
hosts-
because he
he
apparently smacked his wife in the head.
But apparently
Allegedly, he smacked
he
her.
is not the abuser. But that allegation has now cost him his career. So
Yep. He was
Our
a very, very
allegation-
high paid, like he was
Yep, very
hosting
popular.
game shows. He was on morning shows as a journalist. Like he's a very well known name. I don't know what happened there. None of us know.
My question for you guys this week is there still a burden of proof from both parties? Because allegations these days can end someone's career, can totally destroy something someone has worked for their entire lives. So we'll start with Jeff. What do you reckon, my friend?
I think it
Yeah, bring
depends
him up.
on the situation, what's going on, like what's the allegation, and I think sometimes
He
it's going to be
smacked his
different.
wife across the head.
Okay, that
Just in general.
Right.
We're talking
Hey,
general.
Like,
Luke.
I think it's different between men and women, right? Like if a guy gets accused of anything sexual, people typically, the guy's guilty, right? Everybody feels bad for the woman. But what's that crazy bitch that walked up and shot the wife in the head after she was banging the husband? She gets out of jail and she's still got a career. What was
Well,
her,
I've
Amy
just
Fisher?
got to say very
Oh,
quickly.
wait,
When-
Amy something.
Amy Fisher.
Yeah.
One
Amy
at a
Fisher.
time.
Sorry,
One
I
at a
was just
time.
answering his question.
Take
Sorry,
notes.
And I'm not
Take
saying
notes.
that the flip side hasn't happened for men. Hello, OJ. But I'm
Thank
just,
you.
know.
Hello, Donald.
Well, hello, a lot of politicians. But anyway, Katie, you go, girl. Oh, sorry, Jeff. Are you done?
Yeah, I think so. I'll wait to see if I got anybody to fight with.
Yep.
A random toy just went off, and I'm terrified for my life.
Chucky
A random toy.
On the nugget couch.
on the nugget couch. Katie, girl, it's you.
You done?
Yeah, I'm good.
Allegations don't necessarily end careers. I'm gonna botch this guy's last name, but look at Ben Roethlisberger, the Steelers guy.
Yes. Yes, Rapelsberg.
Yes, he was accused of rape, and he is still having a very, very good career. And so allegations don't necessarily ruin your career. I think we should believe people who are coming forward. I don't think that means that we should just believe them blindly. I think obviously you need to look into it, but I think we need to give them the benefit of the doubt to start. It takes a lot to come forward, especially with all the stigma that's around it.
But what's the happy medium?
Can I interject?
Yes.
So I totally agree with you, Katie, but I want to go back to our very first episode for this year, via events, where she came up with the classic line, she could have been raped by a ham sandwich, but if there's no proof of it, did it really happen? I could say anything about any four of you on this panel without any
guarantee it's
any
kind of
you
guys.
You know what I mean?
But there are
I think you need to give Vera events like a little segue and then let Vera go.
Yeah, but we'll get Vera's talking about something else in Vera events.
But there are consequences. Well, no, ties into what I was going to say in my event. We were going to talk about free speech. There are consequences to speech. Freedom of speech does not mean the freedom to say anything that you want. Freedom of speech means that you should not be fearful of reprisals for saying you don't like the president and you object to this policy and you object to this. That's what freedom of the speech was written.
Freedom of the speech.
Freedom of the speech, the Italian part. That's what freedom of the speech was written to protect. Is the ability to state your opinion. But again, you can't yell fire in a crowded theater.
Exactly. And you know what? This is what pisses me off. When people that aren't even, like, they make these false allegations, it actually detracts from the people that actually were going through this shit. It goes all the way down to, like I said the other day, I was like, you know, if someone didn't like me because of my personality or whatever,
you mean because you're a bitch?
And then yeah, because I'm a bitch. But then I fucking made this false allegation like, oh, they're bullying me because I'm gay. Like, I just think it's fucking really bad when people do that, and they do pull those fucking cards all the time to get somewhere. And it's just, I guess it's the society that we live in right now, where we think that we can just detract from, like, yourself.
But
like, you know, you can
if you let me finish my point.
Sorry, you go.
You can say these things. You can say these things, but you cannot say them without consequence. Here in this country, if you make a false allegation against somebody and they can prove that you have lied, you can sue them. You can sue them for everything. You know, if Donald Trump really ever can prove that he's innocent, he can sue all 22 of those women for saying he raped them or abused them. You know, Roethlisberger can sue that woman. He's never, ever tried to clear his name, nor has Donald Trump. They just say, nope, didn't happen. But look at the Smartronics and Dominion, the two software companies that Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani had been saying for 3 months rigged the election. They are now suing in court for billions of dollars. They are suing Fox. They're suing Giuliani. They're suing Howell. They're suing all these people who push these false stories. There are consequences.
Sorry.
If you scream fire in a crowded theater and someone gets hurt, you can get sued. There are consequences to speech. You can't just say whatever you want. I think that's false information. And it's a false narrative that's been driven by too many undereducated people. You have consequences to the things you say. If I say I was raped by a ham sandwich and I take it to court, I got to prove it. And if the ham sandwich chooses to sue me back, so be it.
I just want to see the headline for that article.
Well, I was
What
breaking
kind
my
of
ham
ham?
sandwich.
Vera is not opening a sandwich shop anytime soon.
My sister was very offended by that analogy. She said, "Bad analogy. You should have come
Why?
up
Well,
with
it's
that."
Is she Jewish?
But I'm
Any-
sure.
Can I finish what
I'm
I
sure
was
she
going here?
appreciated it though. Yeah, of course, Katie.
Okay.
Go.
But going into the Marilyn Manson thing, no one should be surprised. This man has shown us who he was his whole career. His whole career.
He's nuts.
He has shown us exactly who he is his whole career. This is not shocking.
Well,
Donald, absolutely. No one's surprised.
He's
But,
always
yeah.
freaked me out. Even outside of makeup, if I see him in a project, I just get the creeps.
Did you notice that he only plays creeps? Did you see Jawbreaker?
Look at him. You can see in those girls' eyes, they were saying, help me anytime they were pictured with him. Like, look at how fucking homely that fucker is. He had got to be fucking with their head. Women like her. Oh, well, then again, look, narcissist is your style. So
I
you never
can't
know.
agree with you more, Jeffrey. I have always thought him to be one of the
I
ugliest
love
people on the
him.
planet.
I think it's interesting though that his former, since we're going back to Manson, his former fiancés / whatever aren't outright saying anything. I think that there might be some NDAs behind the scenes because Rose McGowan wrote in her book that they separated because of I'm going to murder the terminology, but sexual differences.
That will fucking be the cat's tits right there. Wait and see if Rose McGowan comes and rides this train.
She
just
the victims, but she never experienced abuse by him.
Yeah. So Dita Von Teese has been very coy about it as well. So I think there might be some NDAs behind the scenes. And yeah,
Follow the money.
Aren't there
Follow
always?
the money.
Weren't there NDAs when with the Weisenberg?
Well, look,
Probably,
if there were NDAs all the way back through history,
Epstein had NDAs. NDAs don't mean a thing. You can sign an NDA; they're not legally binding.
if NDAs were around back in the day, Marilyn Monroe might still be here, but
He's
Sorry,
vying he wants Jenna on.
I love you.
I
Luke.
want Jenna to, Jenna said it all years
Luke
ago.
loves female porn stars. Does anybody notice that?
Yeah,
we
I
just
know.
talk about that in session.
career
Are you
career
kidding?
aspirations.
Female
much?
porn stars are awesome. I want that sort of content.
Hey, we had Penny Flame on.
Yes, so go watch it on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, we'll link that link with Penny Flame, with Jenny, and she was amazing. And also that we've also got Sunny Lane as a possible upcoming guest. So who would know?
No, we don't.
I don't know her.
No, we don't.
I don't know her.
Luke wants it, but it's not happening.
I'm
It's
getting
not.
Sunny Lane on the show.
You know what? And if you
No.
really want a throwback, go on Spotify or Apple Tunes or whatever it's called.
Apple
And
Tunes.
The
iTunes.
heart music.
iHeartRadio.
place. Yep. And then what's the other one? Amazon. And somewhere else, kids. You go on there and listen to our old shows. We actually had a bunch of those porn stars, the gay ones on. What's one? What's the one that was too young? And then he was questioned about murdering the producer. What's that one?
Oh,
Look,
there
There was a movie about it.
Yeah, that's Cobra. What's that?
Yeah, we had him on. We had that whole cast of that fucking movie on.
So we'll go back. We are airing classic UCRs on a Tuesday once a month, so we'll get there eventually. But we're going to close out the show with something a little bit more palate cleansing.
We didn't do a beer event, so we're doing a beer event.
Vera spent the whole show venting. She's fine.
Vera's vented. Look.
I was going to
We did do the graphic.
All right,
yeah.
Vera, have you got something for us?
I can vent on the taxes, but I can wait till next week too.
No, because you know what? It's a fan favorite segment, and it's called Vera Vents.
I just wanted to remind everybody out there in Uncensored Radio Land that 2021 not only marks the end of the Trump presidency, but the end of the Trump tax cuts. I know that none of you were paying attention when he passed those tax cuts in 2017, and you all said, look at my 501c3, look at my 401k, look at my paycheck. This is all this money is. But all those tax cuts expire. The first are set to expire this year. And they did it very sneaky. They didn't change the withholding tax. You're still getting the same paycheck that you got back in 2017, but they changed the actual tax table so that when you go to do your taxes this year, you're not going to get the refund that you've been used to. You're not going to get what you were expecting. It's all going to be because of those Trump tax cuts. And I know that half a dozen of you are going to say, oh, look what Biden did. I got no tax refund. No, when you do your taxes this year, it's Donald Trump's tax reform from 2017 coming around to bite you in the ass. Don't you dare blame this administration. And you know what else? When Donald Trump passed his first stimulus, that was a loan against your tax refund. So if you don't get any refund, it has nothing to do with this administration and everything to do with the last. Please.
I thought I read that. What? Okay.
So let's we're talking about people with more money and sense. Let's talk about this dumb fucker.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Rapper Little Uzi Vert, whoever the fuck that is, has recently had a $31 million pink diamond implanted in his forehead. The rapper has admitted he spent years paying off the diamond, but in a recently deleted tweet, he's pictured bleeding and stating he could die if it isn't removed correctly.
I got nothing.
I've got no comment.
I've got nothing.
It just proves money can't buy class or common sense.
I love
money.
Questions.
I hope he dies. Sorry.
I have so many questions.
Sore spot.
I have
You
no
know,
questions.
if you're that fucking dumb, it's called Darwinism. If you're that fucked, die.
No,
I thought you were talking about vision.
I have no questions and I have no fucks to give. And you know what else is Darwinism? Just to throw this out there, all you motherfuckers who think you're above wearing a mask, that's the Darwin theory going. Put on the mask.
Oh, fucking get that beer events back up again.
But you know what? You know what, guys? You can buy uncensored radio masks at www.etsy.com/shop/just Jeff Emmett for all of you.
Yeah, you can get Katrina's pussy on your face.
No, and then you can go watch all of our past shows. Well, some of the past shows on youtube.com/uncensored radio.
Yeah. So,
Absolutely,
guys,
you can.
if you are watching this, all four of you, make sure that you jump over and give us a like on YouTube as well, because we need a little bit of love on YouTube.
Yeah, I gotta pay the light bill and shit. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
just
I got
gotta pay
3
the
kids.
light bill.
I'm a single dad. I could catch COVID. What would I do?
And we all need to be able to afford Disney Plus to be able to watch this.
Oh, you
I already got Disney Plus.
He looks terrible.
I
He
mean,
looks so old.
His face looks so.
Well, he is
bloated.
old now. Come
I don't
on.
care.
He probably beat all the piss
Name
and stuff.
changes.
I don't care.
I bet you would have caught that pucky if it was a cheeseburger. The end.
I don't care. Sorry,
That's
guys.
where I'm going to
He
end it
doesn't
this week,
care.
kids.
You don't care.
I care.
I signed up for Shudder. I don't care about Disney Plus anymore.
I would.
Oh my God, Shudder! Are you watching Discovery of Witches? So
Yeah, I'm
good.
watching Discovery of Witches.
I read the
Ugh.
books. It's
Why are
based on
you
the
guys
All
watching
Souls-
old lady porn?
No,
Let's
no.
talk about that.
It's the All Souls trilogy by
Everything
Deborah
is
Hart.
porn.
Nah,
That's like Outlander. That's just old lady
nah,
porn.
No.
we're gonna be
Anyway.
discussing this on Uncensored
Shameless.
Horror.
Shameless
Don't you worry.
poverty porn.
It is
Come on,
like,
anybody
oh,
watching
look at
Shameless?
me. I'm in the potato famine. I'm going to have sex.
That
Like,
doesn't
okay.
happen in Discovery. Bitch, it's about a vampire and a witch and some demons.
I'm talking about Outlander because this one.
Oh, yeah, that's
Discovery of Witches is you're a vampire. I'm a witch. Let's have sex. And like True Blood was like, y'all are vampires. I'm a witch. Let's have sex. You're a fairy. Oh, blood. Like, hello. Let's have sex.
Mute her. Mute her.
I can't. Steve, I was saying this just the other day, almost exactly what you just said.
I don't know. So
Miriam's lost her shit.
if you've got a favorite
no.
show, if you've got a
Miriam's
favorite
had
show
a
that's
prolapse.
basic
She's
concept,
done.
watch it.
Listen, I've been watching How to Get Away with Murder. Miss Girl, we owe her fucking money. We don't deserve that bitch, okay?
We don't.
I
No
don't
one
know
deserves Viola
if
Davis. She's
that
the queen.
crew fucking
No, we
hated
don't
her,
deserve
the
Viola
writers,
Davis.
to put her through that much hell. Every episode, that bitch has got to have a nervous fucking breakdown. And I'm like, I would die.
That's why she's the
The
queen.
performance.
Did you see her in that her breakout film? She was nominated for a supporting actor. I'm not going to remember. It's the one about the Catholic priest and
Was
it
it
had
Doubt?
Meryl Streep. Yes. Did you see her in Doubt?
She was
Oh my
amazing.
god!
She had the shortest
Fucking
ever
amazing.
appearance to be nominated for a supporting Academy Award in that
We
movie
are
because I think she's in
worthy.
8 minutes.
No, she fucking rocked that. She is brilliant.
She's got a new movie on Netflix too, which looks really good. But we are over time, so we got to go, guys.
We are.
I told you it was going to
5
be a
minutes
jam-packed
over.
show. We will see you next week.
Who's leading
you
us
know
out
what?
though first, Toby? Is it Melissa Joan Hart, Tatiana? Who have we got?
Do you know who it is? It's me.
Who?
And I'm saying, whatever accent you want to play it in, whatever time zone you want to be in, let's have sex. Bye.
Oh, we did it again.